Typhoon Vamco has left a trail of destruction in the Philippines, killing at least 6 people. It also unleashed some of the worst flooding in years in Manila. President Rodrigo Duterte says the government is on top of the situation. He's called for immediate relief for the victims and has promised no one will be left behind. Buena Bernal reports.
Search and rescue efforts in hard-hit areas by Typhoon Vamco in the Philippines are underway, with reports saying Metro Manila is facing more damage than expected, but authorities insisting they weren't caught flat-footed by Typhoon Vamco. Now, in the riverside city of Marikina, that's in the eastern part of Capital Region Metro Manila, that's known for flood-prone, low-lying areas, locals are saying that the damage in terms of flooding is reminiscent of Typhoon Ketsana in 2009, which saw a state of calamity declared in most of the Philippines' main island of Luzon. They are saying they haven't seen this level of flooding in many years, and that is true even in the riverside areas of Rizal Province, just outside the border of Metro Manila, where flood levels have submerged entire houses and left only their roofs visible in certain areas.
Tinitingnan namin yung sitwasyon dito dahil Paris ako, bilang kura-paro ko, gusto kong malaman kung ano rin yung nangyayari dito sa nasasakupan naming kapilya, dahil lampas na ng bewang sa looban ng kanyong, halos kadibdib na yung tubig, kaya lumilikas na, nandito na lahat sa eskwelahan.
Sana kaya lang yung current ng tubig, hindi ko na kaya malakas na pagpapunta na rito, kaya hindi na kaya.
Now, the usual warning systems in place for emergency alerts prior to Typhoon Vamco's landfall Wednesday late evening were affected and even handicapped by damage caused by Super Typhoon Goni on telecommunications infrastructure last week in worst-hit areas of Bicol region. But authorities said communication systems of law enforcement, such as the police and the military, were tapped to ensure that information reached communities. Now, amid this large-scale suffering, Office of Civil Defense Assistant Secretary Casiano Monilla was quoted as saying that residents supposedly disregarded government warnings, saying they're reliant on their own understanding of the weather situation rather than on official advisories of the State Weather Bureau, Pag-asa. But this also points you to the enormous importance of the warning system in place. The question of how do you make sure that you properly communicate the science, the hazards posed by these weather disturbances to the masses. The succession of typhoons in the Philippines' main island of Luzon have left many communities ravaged, and because the bulk of the COVID-19 caseload is in Metro Manila, there is concern of possible crowding in evacuation centers for those who were forced to flee their homes. Buena Bernal, CNA, Manila.